Alright. Well, today I want to talk about a pressing issue that I think is really, really problematic for the game. I think people are throwing leads all the time because they just misunderstand what this does and what the point of it is. And I really think that they prioritize mid-boss over all the other objectives when people die, and I think that it's a huge mistake. Mid-boss has its strengths, but overall, in my opinion, it's the weakest buff on the map. All it does is give you temporary stats such as movement speed and fire rate. You get a revive, which only works if you die. And if at this point you have mid-boss, you're probably up in souls. You're probably doing pretty good. Dying at this point in the game is risky. You give up a lot of souls. You give up whatever bounty you have. There's the comeback souls mechanic. It's very risky in this game. And I've seen leads go from a 30k deficit to tie game because teams with mid-boss group up and die because they're not fighting correctly and they're not prioritizing the right things. Now, as you can see, these stats. It's temporary, and it only lasts while you're alive. You lose the stats if you die. Demonstrate. Gone. So this stat is only good for as long as you live, and however long the rejuvenation credit lasts. So it's not good, and yes, it pushes waves, which can be beneficial, but overall, in my opinion, it can be overrated, because if you overshove waves too hard, then you're essentially giving the enemy team fat waves. You're not punishing them for not approaching waves. It'll permanently go to their base where they can just collect a large, fully, like 3 to 4 waves per lane. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. So let me show you what you can do instead of doing mid-boss when you wipe the team. Now, again, not every map state is going to be same, but I will tell you that in almost every single game I've played, I've wiped the team, I always look at the map, and the first thing I see, a lot of my mid-boss games, Earn is up, number 1. I think anytime you wipe the team, you should get Earn for free. Earn is a very underrated objective. It gives the team a lot of souls, which, like, late game can be 2,000 each. And then the carrier gets even more, and the carrier gets an additional ability point, which late game can be approximately 2k souls. So you're getting a lot of souls worth of
the spirit
value
urn is waiting
from
to
every
be claimed.
And I believe that the Urn is one of the strongest objectives on the game, if not the strongest. Just the amount of souls that you get, it can really put a team that's really behind in the lead. It can make a team that's in the lead snowball even harder. It's a very underrated objective. And so the first thing I would say is when you're in a team wipe situation and mid is up and all this is up, first thing you should do is send someone to Urn. Number 2 thing you should do is invade. Invade the boxes, invade the statues, take the permanent buffs, take the souls. Why are we giving them downtime by running mid? Why are we mid giving them downtime?
Don't want to be walking into an ambush.
And then when they get back up, what are they going to do? They're going to fight us after they just got wiped? No. They're going to run straight to their jungle and farm camps. So why are we going to let the enemy team do what they want when we have a 6-person, 5-person, 4-person lead? Doesn't matter if we lose 2. If we wipe the team, what are they going to do? Even if we get 5
the
or 4,
spirit urn is
we play the
waiting
numbers
to be
here.
claimed.
Why are we not invading? Why are we forcing a mid-boss and giving them time to respawn? Why are we giving the enemy time to recover? This is how we throw our games. This is how you throw so many games. I've seen so many games thrown because of this. Look at all this stuff that you can take. And again, granted, not all of this is going to be up, right? People are going to farm. The timers are going to be weird. Like, yes, I'll concede that. But you can't deny that almost every game, there's going to be something that you can take from the enemy. And that's what you should be doing. Push your lead. Take something from the enemy. Deny them their souls while also getting soul rich at your end. And guess what? When you're done with all that, you can go back and farm your camps and get even more fed. And then what are they going to do? They're going to make a bad play. Or you go farm waves. And again, if you're 5-man going mid, nobody's farming the side waves. So you're missing out on 2 waves every 30 seconds. Assume mid-boss takes like 30 seconds to do, and then you gotta get back to the other wave. You might miss 2 to 3 waves per lane. That's like 6 waves. 4 to 6 waves in that time. Gone. You'll never get it. You'll never get it again. You just missed out on the souls. It's just like Why would you do that for a temporary buff that incentivizes you to die? Midboss incentivizes you to die. It incentivizes you to make reckless plays because what does it do? It respawns. Like, I get it. Well, we gotta do Midboss when they're all dead. Nobody can contest. I understand. But if you hear my strategy out, you're gonna want them to contest you because it's a bad play. You know, we gotta trick people into doing what we're doing. You know, we do the mid-boss when nobody's up. Then what do? We force a siege over a walker or the base. But is that really the best play? Is it better to ARAM and just focus a single objective? Like, maybe you'll get the objective, maybe you'll win, but there's a good chance you don't win. Because you're fighting on enemy terrain, you're fighting under an enemy walker. Walkers are dangerous to fight under, you know? If you dive a walker, you can get stunned. If someone hooks you, it's very advantageous for the defending team to hold a walker at many points in the game. Yes, there are certain comps that defy this, but if the enemy team has a Bebop, Lady Geist, Kelvin, you know, there's a lot of characters where they can just give you a very hard time when you're trying to siege. I believe sieging in this game is pretty hard. Like, it takes a lot of coordination. And so when I see mid-boss going when you're up 20k souls, I've seen mid-bosses go when you're even souls. I just think you're trolling. Because what are you going to do with that mid-boss? You're going to force a fight. And so forcing a fight is not always the best course of action when you're ahead. The best course of action when you're ahead is to deny the enemy team. And that's why I say invade. Take the camps, take the boxes, take the waves, push the waves, take towers when they're dead, you know, take walkers so that you don't have to siege them when there's 6 people up and they 6-man stack a walker and then you end up getting wiped and then you're like, what happened to my lead? They just got 30k souls because of all the comeback mechanics, because of all the bounty mechanics. Like, why are you forcing yourselves in a position to take a disadvantageous fight? I don't care how far you are ahead. I've won games where I'm down 40k souls and I'm playing an anti-dive character and I just wipe them. It doesn't matter how much souls they have if they're perma-CC'd and they get one-shot. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay? Like, we gotta stop doing mid-boss when we are not in a disgustingly ahead souls. And I am totally fine with contesting mid-boss. I fundamentally believe that if you are 30k souls up, like, say, now we've wiped the team, okay? We're 40 seconds in. We've taken the whole enemy jungle. We've shoved the waves. Everything's in an advantageous position. We've taken as many objectives as are. Now they're all up. Now that they're all up, go back. Go to the mid. Go buy up everything and then go mid. And what is that team? The enemy team has 2 choices. Contest you, risk taking a fight. Now, if you were at 20k souls when you wiped them, if you took the jungle, you're probably up 30k now. Maybe even more if you got around. Okay, so you're up to 30 to 40k now, just from like a minute of just going out and just taking what they can. And not only are you up more, you're denying them for 6 minutes of camp respawns in their own jungle. Like, people do not realize how strong invasions are. Not yet. Like, they will, but it's gonna take time. Invading is very strong. Now you're up 30k, 40k. Now you fight. Now you go to mid boss. Now what? Then the team has to react to you. They have to leave their base, come to you. Why would you go up, take mid-boss, which gives you no souls, and then go force a siege fight up 20k when you can just go invade everything, take urn, take everything else, and get up 40k and then force a fight when they have to come out of their base? That's my point. It's all about the base, the terrain, the tempo. You can't just, like, get a full wipe and then just kill your tempo by going and everyone grouping up mid. And even if, just a couple people need it, okay, but still, those guys are missing out on souls, and there's no way you're going to clear that enemy jungle and get urn and shove waves with just 3 or 4 people. It's just not going to happen. You're not efficient enough. The best thing you could do is just eat when they're dead. Just take as many souls as you can, get as strong as you can, and then go mid. And again, worst case scenario, what are they going to do? They're going to take mid. They're not going to wipe you if you're 40k souls up and they're attacking you and they're coming to you. That's just not going to happen. They're reacting. They're not setting up. They're not in their base. They don't have the good terrain. You can play it correctly and play for the fight so that you will never lose that fight. And then, boom, everyone's happy. Now you just wipe them again because you're up 40k. They took a risky play to try to counter you at mid, and now you can go siege. Now you get your free siege and end. And we just went from a kill wipe to maybe 20 seconds of downtime for siege to a kill wipe, into taking their whole jungle, into taking their urn, into getting 20k more souls, into forcing another fight at mid-boss, wiping them again because you're 40k up, and now you're ending. Like, that's way easier to end the game than forcing a mid-boss fight when they're all dead and then trying to siege them when they're all up. It's just, like, why? Why would you ever try sieging 6v6? Like, if you don't have to. You know? Any time that you can avoid a risky siege, do it. It's the biggest way I see people throw. Alright? So stop throwing your games. Stop forcing mid-boss. Stop doing mid-boss when you're at even souls. You're trolling. There's no point. It doesn't give you enough buffs to justify doing mid-boss at even souls and forcing a 6v6. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the risk of throwing the game, throwing your lead. So don't throw your lead. Invade, invade, invade. Alright?